Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Liz and this is Let's Get Lizical, where we do everything card making. And today is my holiday card hijinks hashtag that I do every month. I started this last year and I provide prompts for the month to follow. If you want, you don't have to, but we post Christmas cards on the 25th of every month. This month's prompt was movie themed, so I am doing a Frosty the Snowman card. I was going to try to do something different because I've done Rudolph and Frosty cards previously in the past, and I wanted to try something new, but I don't have stamps that necessarily work with some of the ideas I had. So we'll come back to that another time, but I'll probably do another movie themed card at some point. I like to do movie themed cards just because you can either recreate a scene from the movie or you can tell the story of the movie on your card, and it's kind of fun. I usually like to tell the story on the card. So previously I've done cards where I have like a film strip cut out that I used to sell on my Etsy. It's not available right now, but I might make it available on my website soon. But it's just like a little film strip, and each little square I would do like a different kind of scene in it, which is kind of what I'm doing today. And again, I've done it with Frosty the Snowman and Rudolph, where you just kind of like give the gist of the movie in the sequence of the cells. So that's kind of what I'm doing again today. So I have this die. I bought this off of Wish years ago, probably when I first started card making in 2017. And I decided to use this just because it's like a smaller frame with smaller panels in it. It has 3 cutouts at the top and then one big one at the bottom. And I thought that that was a good way to help break up, because I'm going to be using Mama Elephant's little snowman agenda stamps. And I love using these, and then I have the reindeer ones, so I use those for my Rudolph cards, and then I also use the Santa ones as well, and just kind of like mix and match them. And they're very small images, so it's better to use these types of frames or like little circles or something just to help reduce the size of the area that you need to put it in. So I cut this frame out of white to put on the back of the craft cardstock one that I'm using as the topper, because I wanted it to have like a brown like wooden frame look to it. And I love brown and blue together. It just like it goes really well, and it's like just I don't know, it's a great combination of color. And I created these snowy backgrounds using some cardstock from Michaels. This bigger panel I think shrunk a little bit probably because the amount of embossing powder that was on it and the heat just kind of like made the card shrink a little bit. So I am just coloring the edges here. It does go through the card a little bit, but I'm not bothered by it. It's not too much. So I'm just gonna leave that there. I probably could have cut another piece of the blue and just kind of like reinserted that, but I just thought of that now. So we just did it with a marker, and I'm just going to be creating little snowy scenes on the inside of each of these panels. So in order to create the snowy background, I actually splattered the cardstock with a little bit of water, and then I used embossing powder on that. I don't remember where I saw this trick. It was probably like a Jennifer Maguire video or something, but it's a really like good organic way to get snow. Just because you're using splattered water, so it kind of like goes onto your cardstock and then it like splatters a little bit outwards. Like it looks more organic for the snow in a sense. Like it looks more like a snowstorm to me, instead of doing my like normal controlled snow dots, which I was originally gonna do, but I was like, you know what? I've done this technique like once before, like a couple years ago, before I started YouTube, and it looked really good. I did it actually on craft paper with gold, and I did it in the background of a Christmas card as well. So I just thought I would give it another try today, and it turned out great. I love it. It's a little bit more like bokeh looking, and again, like a little bit more of an organic snow. And I'm cutting little hills for the background just to make it look like each little window is its own like snowy scene. And I just used the inside panels from the white frame that I cut, because I used the white frame to help stabilize the craft cardstock a little bit because it is 65-pound cardstock. So I decided to use the 110-pound cardstock to help back that, because I was propping it up with some foam tape, so I decided that it needed a little bit more stability. And now I am going to stamp my little images. So I think I might have used the same images the last time I did this type of card, but we start with Frosty and his corncob pipe, and then it goes, I think this one probably has like a little less. I think my last one had like 5 scenes in it, so it might have had another step in between Frosty and then melting Frosty, because you know there's a lot more that happens in the movie between that. But anyway, we're going from original Frosty down to, oh no, Frosty's melting because he was in the greenhouse with the little girl and it got too hot, so he started melting. And then he's magically back together with the heart. And then at the end, he's just like all decked out, ready for Christmas. So that's how I'm telling the story on this card. And right now I'm just using some markers to color the snow and just little bits. Since these are like tiny little images, like you can see they're probably less than an inch in height, or around that anyway. They're super quick and simple to color. You just need a couple of lines here and there in some cases, and sometimes it's just a little dot to help color in some areas. But yeah, so I'll just play a little music while I color because it's nothing exciting, and then I'll come back once it's done. Okay, so now that that's done, all my images have been cut out on my brother's Scan and Cut. I did have to add a little line with a pencil for the one like little, I don't know, snow sweat or whatever you want to call it, little like splash of water from Melty Snowman, because it was, the way it was scanning was, it was a separate image. So I just used a pencil and drew a line between that and the snowman, and then I just erased it afterwards, which is a good trick when you're doing things on the Brother Scan and Cut where they're not connected, because if it's not connected it will recognize it as a separate image sometimes. If they're a bit closer together, sometimes it doesn't, but you know, if it is being a little fussy, just use a pencil and draw in some extra lines here and there, and you could just erase them afterwards, which is what I did in this case. And then now I'm stamping the, I think, Warm Winter Hugs sentiment. It's from the mini holiday messages or something like that from Mama Elephant. I'll link it down in the description below. But it did get a little messed up, so I am restamping on another piece of paper, and then I'm going to cut it out and just place it on top like it was a separate banner the whole time. It's just a good way to cover up your mistakes, is just to use the same cardstock. I could have, even if I wanted to, like maybe done this in a different colored cardstock or something to make it look more intentional, but I think it looks fine. No one's gonna know except you guys because you're watching me do it, but yeah, it turned out good. And then I'm gonna put this like little final Frosty down at the bottom here, and then the top 3 will create the play out of the movie in the top. And then once that's done, I decided that this needed a little bit more bling to it. I like to add sparkle to any snowy scene cards that I'm doing, or a little bit of glitter. And I'm going to be doing that with some rhinestones that I got. Again, I got those on Wish like years ago, probably again back in 2017 when I started card making. They're actually meant for nails. There were like 10,000 of them for like $3 or $5 or something like that. So I have enough to last me 10 lifetimes. I'll probably never use these up, but they're just cute little, like, I think no, they must be like 2 or 3 I think they're 3 millimeter rhinestones. They're all the same size, so it's a little harder to place them because you kind of want your embellishments to be different sizes. It just looks nicer that way. But these ones I tend to use in snowy backgrounds where I just need to add a little bit of glitter here and there. But yeah, it just added that little bit of sparkle, and then I'm going to go in with my glitter gel pen and add some extra sparkle to the top of the snow, as well as the bow on the wreath, the heart, and then I added it to the pipe in the first image just because I wanted to balance out the glitter a little bit. I didn't add any to the one in the top middle where he was melting because I didn't know where to add it other than his snowy body, but then I didn't do that to anybody else, so same with the hat. So we just left it. But anyway, that's our card for today, guys. If you want to join in, just use the hashtag HCHJ2025. Make sure you tag me at Let's Get Lizical, either on Instagram or Facebook, and you can join along as well. You can follow the prompts. You don't have to follow the prompts. Either way, tag me. I want to see what you're doing. But thanks again for joining me for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and let me know your thoughts. And until next time, thanks, guys. Bye.